July 3rd, 2013. My name's Scott Brake, and we're here to show you differences between 44 Magnum, 44 Special. We're going to do some reloading, little how-tos, tips, differences, a little bit of background. Right here we have a 1969 built Smith & Wesson Model 29 44 Magnum. It's got a 4-inch barrel on it. The gun was built in 1969, shipped to Alaska. This gun, Model 57 Smith & Wesson 41 Magnum. It's identical to the Model 29s, except it's slightly smaller in the bullet department. This is actually the gun that was made famous in Dirty Harry movies with Clint Eastwood. He claimed it was a claimed it was a 44 Magnum, but it was actually carried a Model 57 41 during the filming. A little bit of differences is right here we have the case. We have 44 Special, 1/10 of an inch longer. We have 44 Magnum. They will both fit in the Model 29. Showing a little versatility. We've got a 200 grain Nosler bullet, 240 grain Keith style hardcast bullet. Got a Sierra 300 grain soft point bullet for those of you who like to hunt big critters. And those who like to hunt even bigger critters, we have a hard cast, long flat nose, 300 grain bullet. 44 Specials can be loaded from personal protection and target practice to actually light game hunting. And a 44 Magnum with either light loads or heavy loads through reloading can be made to cover the whole gamut of the shooting sports, whether it's long range silhouette, whether it's big game animals, whether it's target practice. Anyway, that is what we've got here. The two main powders I use is IMR 800X, mainly for the 44 Special, or light loads in 44 Magnum, or Hodgson Little Gun, which is what I use for higher velocity and heavy bullets. It's a slower burning powder, creates a lot of energy. It's a little easier on the guns. We're going to go by the Lyman reloading manual. This one was number 49. It was published in 2008. We have some 44 Special rounds here. I'm not going to bore you to death and show you how to reload each and every one of them. These over here have been tumbled, sized, and primed with one that I have actually put powder and seeded and crimped a bullet in. It's the 200 grain Nosler. These have been tumbled, but they have not been sized, and the old primers are still in them. We'll be sizing them and removing the primers, cleaning up primer pockets, belling the mouth on the cartridge case so you can seat the new bullet. Put new primers in them, put powder in them, seat the bullet, crimp the bullet, so on and so forth. Once I have all these done, I'll do a handful of the 44 Magnums. We'll go out, we'll shoot some 44 Specials, we'll shoot some 44 Magnums, and show you the difference. What we have here is a 44 Magnum, 44 Special, sizing, decapping. This little pin right here, don't know if you can see it on the camera. When the cartridge case goes up, and while the brass is being sized smaller to fit back in the chamber of the 44 Magnum, this pin will pop out the old primer. Then we'll take out a little corrosion and soot and so on and so forth with a pick, and we'll go to the next step. Get a little tedious when you got 50 or 100 of them that you're doing. And then we have a resized 44 Special case with the old primer popped out and a dirty primer pocket area. I'll use a pick. I'll rent it a few times. There's also specialty tools for this, but I'm a hillbilly and a little cheap. So there we go, plain primer pocket. this one here has not been done, as you can see, bullet does not want to start in it. We've already done this one on top. The neck of it will hold the bullet in place. Well, we put some cellular and Beloy large rifle primers in this Hornady hand priming tool. Turn them up so they seat right. You get the feet in there, bring it up, slide the cartridge case in the shell holder, squeeze that. You want it just underneath flush, just like that. Here's my powder measure, RCBS. This is our powder we're using for the 44 Specials. It's IMR 800X. We're going to be loading 200 grain Nosler jacketed hollow points, and they will take 7 grains of powder. Once you get your powder figured out, dump it in the case. Alright, back on the 44 Specials. We've sized, belled, primed, and put the powder in them. Now we're going to seat these Nosler bullets. This is the die. It's got a plug here. You adjust it here and here. And I want the brass to go up to the cannula. The cannula, this little groove spot right here on the bullet. It has a significance we'll find out here in just a little bit. And voila, 1 bullet seated, 2 more to go. We get these seated, and then we're going to crimp, called roll crimp, the edge of the brass up into the cannula on these bullets to keep them from walking around when they're in the gun during recoil and stuff. And now we're crimping. The die we're using is a Lyman die. It's the same one as we used for the seating, but the bullet seater, we back it out and we run the die a little bit further in. And it roll crimps the end of the cartridge case into the bullet cannula up here to hold the bullet in place in the case for recoil on revolvers. It also gives an even burn when the primer sets off the powder, sends the bullet off. If you don't have it crimped, you can have an uneven pressure signal and have varying speeds on bullets, which will badly affect accuracy or somewhat badly affect accuracy. Here is the end of the 44 Specials we're loading today. We're done. Today's July the 11th, 2013. We loaded some 44 Specials and some 44 Magnums the other day. Now we're going to shoot them, show you a little bit of the differences. Maybe if things work out, we'll see some bullet performance on a block of dried oak on a tie block end. We've got the same Model 29 we showed the other day. It's a very old gun. It's about as old as I am. And we've got a Model 629. The reason it's 6 is the stainless steel. 44 Magnum also. It's got a little scope on it. For old people like me who can't see very well. You're loaded with 7 grains of IMR 800X. It's a 200 grain Nosler hollow point and 44 Special. Pretty good target, home defense, just a good all around cartridge. Let's see if I can hit. Pretty mild, not a whole lot of kick to it. What we have here is that oak tie block in, real hard stuff. We've got two 44 special rounds. This in here was a Hornady XTP. It went in about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. Went in about 4 inches. It was one of the Keith hardcast bullets. They loaded the same powder charge. But the Hornady bullet expanded, which stopped its penetration, and the hardcast bullet kept on going in. And we also found part of one of those 44 Magnum spears, and it went almost all the way through. Not much of it left, but it's a whole lot heavier and driven a lot faster. So we can dig this thing out without stabbing ourselves. It's easier said than done. Well, I guess it's made a home in there. And this one has two. That's a nasty looking piece of slug that I'd hate to have come after me.